Good morning, folks. Boy, oh boy, what a week that was. A lot going on. We had that miserable job in New Rochelle that our installation was failed by the fireman for our plumbing work. But we fixed that, contacted the homeowner over the weekend. He's extremely happy. Got an offer on the home that's selling. We had a planned emergency removal of an above ground leaky tank with a 1-day remediation. I gave him a dollar amount estimated, came in under that, killed that. The night before we had to do that, we had one of the oil distributors here, the larger name companies tell us that one of their customers above. Good morning, Corey.
Good morning.
Hey, what's the score between me and you on the pick'em? Tied. Oh, no tie dance?
But we're also 4 behind Joe.
No tie dance. Because you had a tie dance last time when you tied me.
So where's your tie dance?
I don't dance, bro. I'm 61. I actually do dance.
Well, you did dance because you tore your meniscus on the cruise.
I did. Yeah, I did. My kid knows. That's what happens when you're with somebody all your life. They know everything. And they have a good memory, those kids. I did tear my meniscus on a cruise once. Get a little crazy when the cocktails are flowing. We won, by the way, my wife and I. What was I even talking about? The week that we had, the basement oil tank let go. We went out there. We put on magnets, which I'm not in love with magnets, but in that situation, magnets were good. We pumped the tank dry. We met with the DEC. We've put up a plan of attack. Things changed a little bit. Basement's pretty dry. It's pretty clean. The discharges that come out from the sump pump that go into the stream are clean. We've got boom across the stream. No evidence of any oil since the time we put it in, which is now 5 days ago. I was there yesterday. When something like that happens, you've got to go there every day. The DE wants to see it. They want to see pictures, and they want to see a report on how things are progressing. Otherwise, they jump in. So that was last week's. Tiring. This week, Monday and Tuesday, we are installing 2 ROTH tanks. Not a fan. Not a fan. I don't want to spend the next 2 days putting the ROTH tanks down, but I probably will. And one's going inside, one's going outside. I'll let you know the difference of how these tanks have to be installed inside and outside. And it's all based on not because of state or local code, it's because of warranty being null and void. Also, if you install a ROTH tank, you must be a certified ROTH tank installer. You need to go through one of their 16-hour courses. Everyone in this company are certified ROTH installers, even the 2 girls in my office. And the reason why I did that is when people call and they have questions about a ROTH, I want my girls as certified ROTH installers to answer those questions. I know. Right, that's genius. That's cutting edge stuff. These trucks, man, I don't know. They're babied. They're babied. A nice warm area. And that one ROTH install that's outside has to have a pad. Must sit on a pad. Here's the pad we're going to use. It's the one in the back. Right there. That's for a ROTH tank. So it's got to be on a pad. It's got to have a hood on it. And the tank, believe it or not, has to have tie downs. The reason why it has to have tie downs is because when the tank gets about 25% capacity, you can walk over to it and push it over. Oh, that's impressive. Look at the extra cost to have a ROTH tank installed outside. Just those costs alone, I could put another Granby tank right next to it with those lousy welds. So you guys got to try to figure out which you think is the best. Let's go take a look at one of these ROTHs. Here is a ROTH tank. It's strapped on a pallet, so you can't really. And look how light it is. And that's strapped on a pallet. It's got a blown ethylene bladder inside that tank. What's the pro to that, Bri? Because it's a plastic material, when water gets into it, it'll never rust from the inside out. Never. Because it's a blown unit, there's no seams on it, so essentially it won't burst. But if you were to stand here and watch this tank being filled, you'll see this end cap come out about 2 inches, and the whole tank itself will squat down. And the same on this side, moves a lot. Right here you'll see there's a little, it looks like a tiny shot glass. When that inner line breaks, this galvanized metal, people think it's stainless steel. It's not. It's galvanized metal, and the sides here are crimped. That's how it's closed. That contains the oil. If the inner liner lets go, down at the bottom of this is a pole with a flotation device. If it gets wet, it rises up a little red stick that says you're screwed. No, it doesn't say that. So now you've got the inner liner, so you're good, you're saved. So what happens then, Bri? Then your tank is no good. Your tank is no good. You've got to drill a big hole in the top or cut it, get a small pipe down there, pump out any of the product in the exterior. You got to pump out the product in the interior, and you got to throw the tank away and get a new tank replaced. So, well, I guess that would be better if that tank were to let go, because if that let go, wherever it was, it would spill the fuel out. They make, that's called an inner stitch, by the way. Granby also makes that for these, but what they do, it's a double wall bottom. They just weld a piece of steel right across the bottom here. So you can get that tank with a 30-year warranty. It's called a green shield. It's core coated on the outside, nylon bushes, secondary tank along the bottom. February 5th, I will have been doing this and installing these tanks for 30 years. This coming February 5th. I have had one problem with the Granby tank, and here was the problem. I installed the tank in a little shed. Did everything correct. Seam out, tank pitched towards the drain. Well, apparently 4 or 5 years later, the owner took the tank and installed it outside the shed because that's where he wanted it. Well, 10 years after that, the bottom of the tank started leaking over on the other side where the drain plug wasn't. That's because he pitched it incorrectly. So all the water was gathering on the inside, on the far end, away from the drain plug. The tank rusted from the inside, let 275 gallons go. I did not clean it up. Another company cleaned it up. Because of a 275 gallon leak, morning Sam, they charged the homeowner over $60,000 to do the remediation. I know the company's name. I think there might have been some overbilling on that project. So the homeowner immediately came after me and said, I did something wrong. So I called in the tag to have Granby come out and run their investigation. They took the tank, they had a metallurgist cut the tank apart. They saw that the tank let go from the inside out, away from the drain plug. So what'd they do? They automatically said it was Tank Master's fault because I installed the tank properly. So trying to remember, 13 years back, in my record, we didn't really install the tank outside. I'm pretty sure that tank went inside that shed. Homeowner said, no, it didn't. You're a liar, Brian. So he got an attorney. So the attorney was coming after us. So we had our girls in the office go and look deep into things. Well, you know what they found? They found a permit, and they have the C of O on the permit, and on the permit signed by the building inspector, it said tank was installed in the shed. Yes, sir. So I then took that information, slid it over to the attorney, who said I was a liar, and I said, your client's a liar. Never heard from him again. So that's the only time I've had a Granby tank fail. My opinion, that's the best tank to get the best bang for your buck. 30 years guaranteed by my experience. I've installed those tanks right around Greenwood Lake, and I'll tell you, up here, Greenwood Lake, New York, right on the lake, there's nothing colder than a wind shear off of a lake. Have not had any problems with my ROTH tanks either. Just to be fair. But as we go, I'll explain some other issues with these ROTH tanks. We'll get that to work. It's not going to be great though, bro.
I'll have to take this off.
Yeah.
Put this through it.
Yeah,
It's got to work for 2 days.
This thing broke. This thing is broken quite a few times. Just broke on us now. So we've ordered this hinge. It's not coming till tomorrow. So we got a rig to put this in here. But good find on that. Just to get us to the job site today. What are we doing today, kids? We're bobbing and weaving. Okay, folks, we have reached our destination. Let's see if I'm in the way of the boys here. I'm going to say the tank is sitting somewhere over here. Yep, there it is. Inside. Okay. Alright. A little tricky, but I think we can pull this off. Here comes the homeowner. Okay, just met the homeowner. Very cool guy. He's a fan of our channel, which is awesome. How would you guys sit? Straight in? Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit straight in, and the truck we can pull right here, or actually right back here, Cor. So I can just spin and dump in, right? Okay, Corey's getting a new puppy. Tell us about your puppy.
It's a gold doodle.
A gold doodle? You got a picture of her? Let's see. He has to drive to Ohio tomorrow. Boy or girl?
Boy.
That was a stupid question. Murphy's not a girl. Could be. Look at her. Get that other shot. Look at him. Look at him. Okay, he's in Ohio waiting for his daddy. So Corey's off tomorrow. He'll go pick Murphy, which we'll soon be calling Murph. Yep. Right? Excellent. So that's what Corey will be tomorrow. So we've got our removal here. It's a 550. I'm just going to back right in here. No utilities, no well, no septic. Septic is right there. No leach fields. It's nice and cold, so that's the only thing good about winter. We never create any ruts. So we're going to back right here, the empty. I'm going to dig from there in. I'm going to remove. Sammy is helping the removal crew, which is awesome. I'm going to ruin a little bit of Pachysandra here. And the inside, I'll show to you later. He's a good looking guy, but for some reason he don't want to be filmed. So we will show him that respect. Let's offload the 40. Let's see how the edge of the road here is. See, we're on roots and frozen ground, so that's what's cool about the winter. What's not cool is when we got 12 inches of snow. And we got to go through that. But you're going to get to see that soon, probably. I think we're good with everything. This will be a good project. So he's getting that ROTH tank, which I don't want to beat up too much now because he's a fan of the channel. And he's going to watch this. So that looks like cedar. Yeah, that's cedar. Never get through that kind of block. I have a feeling the tank is going to be installed between the two. So we'll go quickly look inside. Really nice rock work done here. I say that because it hasn't moved. The home was built in the 40s. I love rock work.
Huh?
What are you thinking, Craig?
I'm thinking it's pretty good.
Okie doke. Mike, I found a leaf. Okay. No, I'm wrong. It's going to be in the corner here. So the tank's going to go right there. It looks like something was there. We'll cover that right up. And we're going to go up and out the wood sash right there. With our two lines. We'll run our line over. Right about here, we'll jug over. Under. And this is really cool. We're going to, from here, we're going to tie in. We'll go down. He already has a tiger loop, which is awesome. We'll tie into this one. We don't have to run a new line over because it's all new coated copper. It's all within code. And we can't get to it here. He has another burner, which I'm going to assume is an addition that was put on later. So instead of drawing all the energy from this one, they just installed a separate unit. How about this? This is pretty cool. He says there's big bass in there. I think he said he caught a 29-inch bass once. So props to you, brother. I'm not a big fisherman. You know me, I like the high-intense stuff better. I think fishing and watching a baseball game, I would probably prefer to watch paint dry. But that's just me. Here is where the other burner is. Right here. So that's where that line comes over. And here there's no tiger loop. It's a two-line system. So not bad. It'll be a fun one. This house is absolutely meticulous inside and out. That's why I thought he was an engineer. Because most of my engineer customers are very meticulous. Everything is organized in its place. Right there, it's good, brother. That's good. All right, Corey brought this over to me. We're gonna just miss the beginning of this wall. Gotta go straight in, this pack of Sandra. They're very resilient, just like children. But when you teach the children at a young age, they're resilient. They still love you. Don't be true. Alright. Try not to destroy that tree. That should work. So again, you never know what's coming out of the front of the home. I looked earlier, I didn't see anything. But obviously you just don't throw the bucket in the ground right here, because you use that tank as a barrier. That tank starts right about there, and it goes from there all the way to the outside, back to me, all the way to about here. So if there's anything coming out of the home, knowing there's a tank right here, you make your initial digging on this side of it. So you use that tank to protect you. Yep, I'm gonna back that mason right in, Core. Put it right here for me. All right, the ROTH is out. Let's take this top off so they can see the stand that it sits on. Here's the stand that it sits on. You're probably saying, well, how does that stand get mounted to the ground, or how does the ROTH get mounted to the stand? It doesn't. It just lays in the cradle. Here's that inner stitch I was telling you about. In that little round hole, a little red thing comes up. These are the nylon bushings. That right there pops out and gets screwed into a black pipe. So then it gets put onto that, gets screwed down. When we leave the homeowner, we give them a little plastic key because it tells you that over time this will work its way loose. So when you buy the ROTH, you got to maintain the ROTH as life goes on. And, you know, for me, I get it. But if I'm installing a tank for an 85-year-old couple, you don't want to tell them that they got to go down there and crank their nylon bushings on their tank. But you've got to do it.
Oh, Jesus,
And I don't want to come across as totally hating on a ROTH tank. So that's why that thing's got to get tied down. If it's outside, you can clearly see how light it is. You know, the other thing with this ROTH tank, if it's installed outside, it's got to have that hood that comes over it to protect, because when water gets down inside these seams, it actually goes in because it's riveted. It's folded and riveted. So water gets down inside that if you don't have the hood on.
You'll see tomorrow.
You'll see tomorrow we're installing one. Also, so if we put this tank outside, we have that metal comes up and then the 45 scully. So here's the other downfall for me. So the oil man puts his nozzle in his hose. The hose comes down and it goes to the ground. So the weight of that sometimes will pull the metal piping right off the threads. It pulls right out because you have metal going onto nylon. That's the only other thing. And maybe I can show you. I'll measure the width of this before we fill it, and then I'll measure it after it. It swells up and it squats down when it fills. And that's that, folks. You have the crossover, anything here, Craig?
Yeah.
I just want to show that also.
Right here.
No, I want to show it, Tom.
We don't have.
All right, boys, we got that mason dump pulled right alongside of me, ready to excavate.
No, wait on somebody to back me in.
And the camera.
And the camera.
And a camera?
It's got me on video.
Gotcha. Why, he's backing up barren area. Dude, when I turned on this road, I don't think I've ever seen one, but I saw a little fox.
Really?
Yeah, she looked like she was 23. Just kidding. Yeah, I saw a little fox.
Little focus.
Yeah.
Which way do you want me to come in? The same way or right?
You were
by
not
the
paying
truck?
attention then, previously.
But I'm just
Because I gave you that.
I'm
You
just referring.
reiterating?
Yeah.
I'll show you, brother.
Right by your truck. Just
My
back
truck's
right
in the way.
Pull your truck up.
My truck's in the way. So, as I said, I'm just gonna start excavating. I'll turn my thumb on. Just gonna start excavating right here on the outside of the tank. You can see the main power lines right there. They go up and then they come into the home over there, so there's no underground power. And the phone lines and cable also come in there, so no phone lines underground. We've got our 811 dig. All the flags are up. We always make sure those flags are up, but the girls are good with that. And the 811 dig paperwork mark out is going to be in every one of our file. In the event something happens and a representative comes out, we have all the paperwork we need to prove that we did get a mark out. So right now I'm digging right alongside of the tank. Maybe I'll just touch the edge of it. And when I sit, I don't like to sit up and down. I like to sit level for when I scrape the soil out of my excavator. I have a full level bucket, so that's why you can see I walked in here backwards and I bladed down here to lift my rear end up to get me level. Well, I lose a lot of digging strength that way because I can't blade down. So I just have to make sure that I excavate all around this tank so I don't get a lot of resistance when I do remove it. So now we'll just try to get up to here. So they're not going to pull any of the copper lines out yet. We're just going on the quarter end of the tank just to find out how deep it is. And I did not hit it with any of that. I just tapped it right there. So we'll just push some dirt away. Wants to stick the tank. Anytime I'm doing a new installation where I'm going to transfer fuel, I'll always stick the tank because I want to know if there's any water in the tank. This way it guarantees I won't transfer any water into the new tank. Should always stick the tank with water detecting paste anyway, either if you're just doing a straight up removal. It's always good to document everything and have all the correct information on your project. You never know, the DEC may require if there was any water in the tank, or the homeowner's insurance may require. That's the vent pipe right there. Nope, that is going to be a root or possibly a discharge pipe. I'll have Corey look at that. So anytime I'm working around a tank like this, initially my control, my volume, my speed, everything is low. So like as soon as I feel it, I'm touching something with my tooth, I'll immediately back off until I know what it is. Corey, is that a root or is that a PVC pipe right there? Looks like a root. All right, very good. That's why you should always, if somebody's excavating, it's actually a two-man job. You should have a pair of eyes looking in an area that you can't see. You have a millisecond to back off with your bucket before you do a lot of damage on something underground. Septic, sewer lines, sprinkler lines, all easily replaced. The thing that sucks is when you hit a well line or a city water line and you cannot shut it off. You can't find the shut off, or the shut off is rusted. It's a nightmare. By the time you get a city or town official out here to find that shut off, we'll have probably pumped 2,000 gallons. So, and then immediately they run their investigation and they'll try to prove that you screwed up based on the mark out. That's why that mark out information all needs to be in the file on the truck when we come out to do the job. So I just want to try to find the end of the tank now. We're going to deal with some roots over here for sure. Right. We're being told it's a 550, so I should be at the end of the tank, and I don't feel it yet. Should be right there. If I don't get it there, it's a 1,000. There it is. So. Okay, so as suspected, it's a 1,000 gallon tank, so there's over 500 gallons of fuel in this. We're good though. So we'll clean that edge off. It's kind of cockeyed here. I'll need another truck. I'm not gonna have room. Gonna have to pull this out of here, and we're gonna have to get the nice one in, which I don't like doing because I don't like digging out of the back of that. But there's no place else really here to stockpile, so. See how they're going with the, hey, it's a 1,000 gallon tank.
Really?
Yep.
Like.
Yeah. So. Here's that duplex, how that goes on. That's just same as the other duplex, that just sits in there. And that's how it's held. What do you got? You got no pipe set up, Craig? You can't, hold on. So that gets screwed into that.
Yep, you can take this.
So that nipple right there, Mike, show us. That gets screwed down into that.
Yep.
And then that's what holds this in. This piece right here. This little collar. So, constant tugging and moving on it. You can see it starts to spin and it starts to loosen up. So you got to keep that tight all the time. So when you got manifold tanks, now you got the tanks going up and over. It's just not in love with it. You can see there's no restriction there, but. So how you doing this, Craig?
Right here. I gotta fit
That's going in.
Fit it through that.
So it's got to slide over here a little bit.
Nope. I gotta put this street.
Oh, okay. So when that's so that piece right here, he'll put that piece on there, and then this piece will be on the side, and that's how he'll get here his pitch, like that. And that looks like that's right.
Same
And
with
then
that.
just a clear path over there. Okay. Yours looks easy, bro. We have a 1,000 gallon tank.
Yeah.
Okay. Corey brought the other one in already for me. So we'll continue to dig. So, you know, we've got over 640 gallons now. So I've got a capacity of 550 gallons there, plus 275. So we have enough to do what we need to do. But we're going home with a lot of good oil that I can't legally do anything with other than dispose, which drives me crazy sometimes. because I have Craig heats with oil, Corey heats with oil, a lot of people I know, Casey heats with oil. I can't give them the oil.
What's that?
Gotcha. I'm good.
Good.
Yeah. All right, so we are back at the shop here to get another dump truck and some more. I'm bringing topsoil. The reason why I'm bringing topsoil, normally when I do a 1000, I use the item crusher dust right there for the bottom half of the void, because it really doesn't sink, it compacts. If there's a little water down there, it binds it up nice. There's my truck that's been fixed 13 times, kill it, and still never starts. Everybody's got the answer though, and every time I get it back, it's fixed, I guarantee it. It just pisses me off. So I'm going to bring another load of topsoil instead of that, because if you'll notice, when I dump, it's going to fall on top of that nice rock wall. So I want nice loamy dirt. All right, I just filled that up with topsoil. Put this machine away now. Fits right in there. Nice having a quarry back at your shop. Corey's gonna put the tarp on it. Close her up, we'll get back out there. Got another 16-17 minute drive. Okay, we are back on site. So I've got probably 6 tons of soil in that mason. I got about 5 tons of soil in that mason. I've got 5 tons of topsoil in that one and 5 tons coming. So we got well over 22 tons of product here ready to go back in that void once that tank is pulled. The boys, let's see how they're coming along. Well, it looks like they've got the fill and vent out already. I'll tell you, these guys are good. These guys are good. So there is, so they put that extended piece on there so we can drop, so they were ready to fill. The holes look good coming out. So I just want to do that experiment where I told you how the tank squats and it swells. So let me go get a measuring device for it. The backfill looks good. Everything looks good here. No problems?
Yeah.
What?
The wall is 8 inches thick.
Serious?
You have a 3-inch bit, right?
Uh-huh.
You drill the one out, falls out. The second set doesn't come out. So 3 inches deep is a 3-inch piece you drilled. How you getting it out?
Hopefully it...
Very carefully?
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's done now. You can see
Okay.
how it happened.
All right, good. As long as it happened. I think we can use these. Will work perfectly. I'm sure the homeowner won't mind. We'll return them. You know what I'm saying? Put it along the side there. It's got to stick out so I can measure it. You got it?
Yeah.
It's actually right at 30 inches. All right, let's see what it is after the tank is full. All right? Excellent. All right, And here comes his red oil. It's going. There you go. You can hear that whistle vent working now. It's working good. That's a really good whistle. Yeah. Yeah. What do you hope?
Full. We were 33 inches in a 550, 33 inches in a 1,000, and some of them 40 gallons.
All right, so this tank is full now. We're just going to get a measurement and see how much it's actually squatted or heaved out to. It was 30 before. So there you go. It's almost 31, almost a full inch that it's heaved out. So that always worries me, that's all. I'm sure it's designed to do that, or call it a plastic cap nut. Okay. So these plastic cap nuts are honestly only supposed to be hand tightened, and then you put a little plastic key on it and pull it a little bit. So it shouldn't be over tightened because apparently it'll split. So over time though, they loosen up. And there's no gasket seal down here. Look at that, that's got to get tightened up. There's no gasket seal pulling those two together. There's no dope or anything. It's just pressed together by this plastic cap nut. So if this thing loosens up, and you know when you're going to loosen it, you know it's loosened up if you don't tighten it 5 times a year, is when the oilman fills it and oil starts to come out. And we've seen it all the time. It just comes out. It lays on this tray here part. The tank is good in theories, and it's got a few good things about it. The fact that inside here is a blown polyethylene bladder, that you can have as much water in there as you want, and it will not rust from the inside out. This tank that'll never happen with this tank. It's got that leak monitor. That I guess is kind of useless if the bladder is never going to let go. But if the bladder did let go, you know, this is pressed on and it's like a spot weld. It's not going to hold the volume here. It'll definitely split on these seams. So, you know, it's got some good things and some bad things to it. But it's the same price as the Granby. 10 years ago, these things were twice the price of Granby, but Granby has been raising their prices so much that they're now, you know, they're equal in price just about, unless you go outside with it. Then when you go outside, you need the concrete pad, you need the tie downs, and you need the hood, all of which you'll see because we're installing that tank tomorrow. So Craig is installing the line, up one line system, up and over. And if you remember the New Rochelle job, remember? The fireman said we could not install it on the floor or ceiling joists. This is the only way we install it, New Rochelle. Not black pipe. He's coming. He put a little T in there. That will go down and operate this burner and we're just tying in. So nice job, Craig. Oh, he's getting a tiger loop here?
No, that has one. The other burner gets this.
The other burner gets it? Wonderful. This is going to be a nice system he has once he's done. All right, we're going back out to the underground 1000 and we'll watch Mikey clean it. I'm sure you've never seen that before, right? And that tank is going to be a good tank. That was a thick tank. Mikey is in his safety harness. Got his respirator, his boots, his Tyvek suit. Ready to go to war. Michael versus the 1,000-gallon UST. Somebody said, well, hey, what does the AST stand for? That stands for above ground storage tank. So obviously a UST is an underground storage tank. That's a little tank lingo in the business. Corey will bring that over to the DOT approved 55-gallon drum. You're probably asking, have you ever spilled one of those? Have you ever tripped and fell? Knock on wood, no never. And lots of times we have to, because we work on above ground tanks inside homes, we've got to walk upstairs through the kitchen, through the living, and we've never spilled it. Did I just jinx us?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, then you're saying, well, why don't you put a lid on it? Because we know Home Depot sells lids.
If you drop the bucket, the lid will fall off.
I've said that. I don't know. Will the lid fall off if you drop the bucket? Maybe we should run a test.
We'll seep out though. It's not
Yeah.
vacuum sealed, so
I get it. It may. It may. All right, Corbin, I'll let you finish here. I'll rake my way out of this bunker. Oh, vey. Mikey, we're getting there. Okay, we are finished up here. It came out good. I'm gonna stand there. Or he's just gonna blow everything off. And the new, I hear the burner running. This is a new ROTH installation. Just a personal preference. This one just needs a little maintenance. It's got a 30-year warranty. Interstitial, they call it a double wall, but it's just got a leak monitor that'll let you know. The line runs up over the air duct. It's tied in right there, down to a tiger loop. Got to get our light out of here, and then I'll show you the other one where it came in. I think we installed a new tiger loop there. And you can hear this burner's running also. Got a new tiger loop installed right there. Perfect. That's it for us right now, guys. Okay, folks, that is a 275 ROTH tank installation with a 1,000 gallon tank removal. That's another fine job by Tank Masters Environmental.